First and foremost, my name is Jim Adams, Superintendent of Schools. And I would just ask that we all rise, please. We're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance before we get going. Shall we begin? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. This is such a momentous occasion for the town of Ashland, the Ashland Public Schools, and I can't thank everyone here for coming and spending some time in the sweltering, humid heat today. Thankful the rain is held off for us because I really wanted to be out here so you get an idea and some visualization of what this is going to look like in the future as well. We've got a couple renditions over here of the rest of the project. As you can tell, we're still under construction a little bit and will be for some time. But the school itself is completed, and we've been in classes for a week, which is great. And the number of folks who are here that have been a part of the Mindess history, I thank you for coming today and for gracing us with your presence. That building was so loved by this community from the 50s on forward, serving different grade levels all the way through. And to have the wind here, thanks, Paul, to have former administrators, employees, educators, school committee members, finance committee members, to show up this morning is just, it's a blessing for us. And I thank you for taking that time. Some of you came from quite a ways away, and I appreciate that. And the community thanks you for the work you did prior to this building being built. I want to say thank you again to everyone here. We've got a number of speakers. It is warm out. I'm going to keep these remarks short and just really be the MC of the morning. Again, I'll introduce myself. Jim Adams, Superintendent. This is my 10th year as Superintendent of Schools, my 15th year in the town of Ashland. I couldn't be more proud of what we're doing here as a district. And the opening of the school is really 7 years. 2016 is when I started the process of creating a feasibility study, not just with the MSBA, but us looking at the demographics and the enrollment changes. As many of you know, Ashland is growing and has been continuing to grow. And it's exciting. And this is that, the vision that we had to make sure the students, the community, faculty and staff have a facility worthy of the work they do here. And I believe we've done that and accomplished that. Again, I would miss somebody if I listed them all out who helped make this a reality. But it's really comes down to the town, the citizens who voted for this in overwhelming support. During COVID, there have been challenges, for sure, with this project. But the end result, I'm most proud of. So thank you again for coming. As I said, remarks brief. We will be hearing from a number of folks, and I'm going to start with introducing the school committee member, but also the chair of the, I have it in the proper order here? Good. I don't have my glasses on. And chair of the school building committee, Mr. Paul Kendall.
Thank you, Mr. Adams, and thank you all for coming, helping us celebrate the grand opening of our new building. It's been quite a journey. We're excited to show off the building, so I'll try to be brief as well. But how to be brief about something that we've been in the works for 7 years? If I was to try to sum it up in a word, mine would be grateful. As Mr. Adams said, grateful to the community for their overwhelming support, not just of the project, but our schools in general. So thank you for that. I have the school committee here with me, the select board. Thank you for your really unwavering trust and support during this process. To my building committee, it's been a long road, and we faced lots of challenges, but you've remained committed to the promise we made to the community to deliver a building and that they can be proud of, and I think we've done that. But this building is really just the realization of a lot of hard work, dedication, and vision of our educational team here, led by Mr. Adams. And so thank you for your commitment to our students, staff, and this community. We've had tremendous support at the state level. Senate President Spilka, Representative Lewis, thank you for your continued advocacy and support on this project. The MSBA, you've been a partner, not just financially, but also you really embraced our educational vision on this project, so thank you very much. And then finally, a real big thank you to our project team. It's pretty typical for somebody to stand up here and just thank somebody for doing their job. But this project was not business as usual. To Vertex, our owner's project manager, the team, you've been just a trusted, knowledgeable leadership. You've been the glue that's held this project together, and I don't think we'd be here without you, so thank you. Flansburgh Architects, you've really just did an amazing job helping us realize these great, amazing spaces that really embrace our educational vision. And then you had to redesign it all over again on the fly as things changed. But somehow we still maintained exactly what our design intention was, so thank you for that. And Shama Design and Construction, you delivered a building with exceptional challenges, never once looking for the excuse to push a date, but instead rolling up your sleeves, working with the team to find resolutions to the problems, and delivering this building on time, so thank you very much. Together, you faced tremendous challenges in a construction market we've never seen in our lifetime. Yet you faced each challenge, you rose to that challenge, and you faced it as a team and with great professionalism, so thank you very much. I'm proud of what this team's done, and it's an honor to work with all of you. So with that, thank you all again. I hope you're as excited to see the building as we are to share it with you. Thank you.
And I would now like to introduce Ms. Lori Tosti, Chair of the Ashland School Committee.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here today, and thanks to everybody here for your part in making this possible. This is my 13th year on school committee, so I was around in the early days. I see Kathy Bates in the audience, and she was a school committee member that was here when we just started the early days of these talks. And I see select board members and finance committee members and former teachers and principals and all kinds of community members who made this possible by supporting the vision from day one. The statement of interest, which was submitted to the MSBA in 2017, I believe, that in and of itself was a tremendous undertaking. Superintendent Adams had to do a lot of work and spend a lot of time putting that together, and it was the quality of that submission that hopefully got us the approval from the MSBA to get this off the ground. And then from the support of the community and the other boards in town with the feasibility study and then the community vote for the building, this is just such an amazing moment to be able to sit here and celebrate that we have a new school in our town for all our students. And Mr. Kendall, the building committee as well, and anybody who planned it, built it, did any work on the building, we so appreciate you. But I do want to say a few words about Paul Kendall, and he doesn't really enjoy that, and I'm probably going to get daggers looking at me any second now. But seriously, from day one, his dedication and commitment to this project, he is a volunteer in town. He's on the school committee, and he did volunteer to step up and chair the building committee. But in my time here, I really have never seen anything like it. If it's not hundreds of hours that he put into this project, but probably thousands of hours. And the demand that he had for excellence from everybody involved, and just the care that he took. He was here all the time, bringing people through tours, the entire building committee, offering focus groups to get the community involved. So, Paul, we appreciate you so much. This would not have happened in this way without your leadership. And as well to every single person on that building committee, everybody had an input in what we're looking at here, and thank you again for the community support and for everybody else who had a role. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Lori. And next, Ms. Jenna Lareniga, who's the principal of the David Mindess School.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming. This is my second year as the principal of the Mindess School, and we might just say that I hit the jackpot. I knew when I took the position that the building project was going to be a part of what we needed to do. What I didn't anticipate was how supportive the community would be. The town of Ashland has been incredible with its support and its dedication to making this building happen. Thank you to the district leadership, the building committee, and the school committee for the hours of time you've devoted to creating a warm, beautiful, state-of-the-art building for all of our young learners. I would also like to thank the teams at Vertex and Shawmut. Every person has been dedicated, professional, and wonderful to work with. I'm excited for the project to be complete, but I'm a little sad to imagine what it will be like without all of the faces next year. This week at Mindess was huge. I wish you could have seen the looks on the faces of the children and the teachers as they entered the building for the first time. I walked around and I asked the kids what they thought, and here are some of the things they shared. It's huge. Kids are learning and having fun at the same time. The media center is beautiful. It's very futuristic. And one student noticed that it has a wonderful design. So I hope everybody enjoys the morning and enjoys their tours and can bask in the glory of what you have all accomplished.
Thank you, Jenna. Next, from the Massachusetts School Building Authority, Executive Director Mary Pichetti.
Good morning. Very happy to be here today. As stated, my name is Mary Pichetti. I'm the Executive Director. I have been with the MSBA for, it'll be 16 years this fall. I was recently appointed as Executive Director as of July 1st of this year. On behalf of Treasurer Goldberg, Chief Executive Officer Jim McDonald, and the MSBA, I'm very happy to be here today and certainly want to congratulate you on this beautiful new school. I found Ashland's mission to be committed every minute, every hour, every day to every student very inspirational. We can clearly see that mission in action as we stand here in front of the new school. Ashland and its project team, Vertex, Flansburgh, and Shawmut, have worked together and, as mentioned, responded quickly to the unanticipated changes in the marketplace from COVID, something that all of our school projects have had to face over the last several years. They pivoted to make sure that materials would be available and the schedule that could be maintained so that we could be here today, and they did that every minute, every hour, every day. With an eye towards sustainability, the school is designed to be net zero ready, using geothermal wells for heating and cooling and ensuring that the building is ready for photovoltaics. While designing a building with the environment in mind, you have also constructed a building that promotes the best possible environment for the students, including outdoor learning spaces, a courtyard within the building footprint, and a rooftop learning space that will overlook the new playground and fields. This is a building that provides Ashland students with access to the latest innovations in education, and a building that the town of Ashland will be proud to use and share for generations to come. I too must commend the community who demonstrated their strong commitment to the children by voting 95% in favor at town meeting to support this new school. You've invested in the current Ashland students, and you're delivering a 21st century education for future students here in Ashland. I would also like to commend the support and advocacy from our partners in the legislature for being strong proponents for this project and the MSBA. Their steadfast support to every student has been critical to the success of today. The MSBA appreciates its continued partnership with the town. It's our honor to be here with you today to cut the ribbon and celebrate the opening of the new school. With that, I wish you congratulations. Congratulations, Ashland. Thank you.
And next, calling to the podium is Jack Lewis, Massachusetts State Representative.
Oh, the scissors are actually at my feet. I wondered what I was kicking. They're big ones. They look nice. It is so great to be here with all of you. And as the previous speakers have said, once you start thanking folks, it's hard because each of you have played such an important role. But Lori did it, and I just want to call out Paul. I only had one tour of this building during its construction. It was a couple months back, and I'm not an architect. I've been in schools, but I didn't actually know what I was looking at. But to see the building being constructed through his eyes was contagious. And so I am nearly giddy to get in here and see what it actually looks like and to see the vision of all of you, but you, Paul, being here on the ground, I'm going to say every day. I'm looking to see if his wife would agree, but nearly every day, yes. And I also hear it's air conditioned, so I'm excited about that as well. As the principal said, hearing from students about what the last couple of days have been like has been huge. I've heard from many of their parents who have shot me emails or grabbed me at the grocery store. And what I have universally heard is that students feel even more supported, even more safe, and they're actually eager to go to school. And many of us are parents. I would settle for at least one of those things most mornings, like get out of bed, eager to go to school. But this is a testimony, as the previous speakers have said, to this community, but to the Massachusetts School Building Authority, which I think we've all learned. The town chips in many, many millions, but the Commonwealth does the same. And it's taxpayers from North Andover to North Adams and everywhere in between that contributes to this fund. And if communities like Ashland's work to meet the criteria, our tax dollars, combined with tax dollars from across the Commonwealth, are used to make sure that our students here in Ashland truly have a 21st century education and a building that makes it all possible. I was doing math as I was reading a couple of the articles about the old building that used to be right over there, which apparently was so much bigger than I realized now that its footprint is more exposed. And it was nearly 70 years ago that this community invested in a generation, building a new school that met the needs of that day, making sure that Ashland's next generation was equipped with all the tools to thrive for the 50s and 60s. Maybe not knowing it, but it was their kids and grandkids, and I will go as far as to say great-grandkids in some instances, who were able to utilize that building and thrive with the renovations necessary. But now to have an entire new generation who's able to walk in just a couple days ago with a building that has been built to meet their exact needs for this 21st century is huge. And I am so excited. I saw the pictures on social media of the kids' eyes, and hearing from the principal and from their parents has been huge. So again, thank you for everyone who's contributed. Thank you to the Massachusetts School Building Authority. And I am eager to see Paul's vision and the vision of all of you actually in fruition here. Thank you.
It always gives me great pleasure to introduce Karen Spilka, Senate President, a friend of Ashland, a friend of the Ashland Public Schools, a staunch supporter of public education in Massachusetts, a former Ashland School Committee member, someone who has been dedicated since I've known her to doing what's best for this community. Karen was at many of the MSBA meetings advocating and supporting us in getting this project in the pipeline, if you will. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce Senator Karen Spilka.
So this is a really exciting day, and I look at all of the faces here and recognize that I think almost every single one here has some really strong connection, not only to Ashland and our community, but to this school and the whole school system. So it just really warms my heart to look out at all of you, and I welcome so many of you back. It's great to see you. And I thank you very much for inviting me to speak with you on this very exciting day. But before I start, I also want to thank just a few people. I'd be remiss if I didn't, and I'm sorry. But Superintendent Jim Adams, thank you for all of your hard work. And so not only did he oversee the district and the schools and the staff and the kids, but helped to oversee the planning and construction of this school building as well, and all the other issues. And you've done a fantastic job, Jim, and we are forever indebted. The other person we're indebted to tremendously is Paul Kendall. Again, you can sing your accolades as well, Paul. So dedicated. People don't recognize, I don't even know if he recognized when he took the job of chairing this committee, how much time is involved and what is involved. And he more than met that challenge. So from all of the bottoms of our hearts, we thank you so much for not only taking this challenge on, but for doing a spectacular job for our kids. Thank you. And the school committee, being a prior member and chair, I know their hard work as well. Thank you so much for your hard work and support. Thank you, Chair Lori, and to all of the other members, present and past that are here. Again, I look out and I see past members. Principal, you did make great timing to come here. Wise move, and have fun and wish you the best with being here. And I want to thank the Massachusetts School Building Authority. We could not be here today or doing things like this. They do a fabulous job of working with all of our school districts. Sometimes it takes a little while for the district to get there to be accepted, but they work really closely, they work hard, they make sure that whatever is designed and built is done to the very top standards for all of our kids and for our school districts and for our tax dollars, I have to say. So I want to thank you for being here, taking your time and being here, but for your support. I do want to just briefly mention that the legislature in this year's budget that we just passed a couple of months ago and the governor signed, so it is law, put in an extra $100 million to the School Building Authority to give a little bump to some of the schools who were building during this post-COVID time and saw increases, unanticipated increases because of COVID. So there may be some little bump or some help, but it was in recognition that so many of the districts could not foresee the inflationary costs that went on. So thank you. I do want to thank Representative Lewis, my partner in crime. I shouldn't probably term it that way, but at the State House. But we work closely to make sure that we can get things done for Ashland and all of the Metro West communities. I also want to thank the entire faculty and staff, past and present, from the Mindess. You know, they have worked so hard, the facilities team, the staff taking care of the old school. And you'd walk through the halls and you'd never realize it was like, 60, 70 years old when it was, because it was so well kept up, despite all the challenges. And we know there were many, many challenges. I won't go into them, but they did a great job, and the faculty did a great job, and the staff as well. And I want to thank them, and I know they have been waiting a very long time, waiting for this day, for this new school to open. Ashland schools have been on my mind for most of the 40 years that I've lived in Ashland. They've been on my mind over 20, blows me away, 20 years I've been in the legislature. As a former member and chair of the Ashland School Committee, the mother of 2 boys who attended the Mindess School, and have met countless people whose families who have been part of the Mindess School, I consider the Mindess the old, but still now the new, because it's inherited some of the good things, I believe. I consider the Mindess as the start of my political career. So give me just 1 minute to be a little personal here. When my older son was in 5th grade, I volunteered for Miss Mason and Matarese's class, helped get the neighborhood started in the Mindess school. That's where actually I met Claudia Bennett, because she was volunteering for those classes as well. And another partner in crime, we ended up running for school committee together. So that was her start as well. And you know, the rest is history. Never thought that would lead me to running for state rep or for state senate, let alone being Senate president. So I have a really soft spot in my heart for the Mindess School and all of the staff and the kids who have gone there. New life for the space, and a new school that will continue to serve our students, families, and communities for many generations to come. It's a sustainable, net zero ready building that's designed to put students first, and that is typical of Ashland. You know, the way that the vote went to support this school, it's clear that our residents, our community, puts our students and kids first, and that is really important. The space embraces the school community, shares common areas to spark collaboration between students at all grade levels, and includes features that align with our learning and education planning. It also has outdoor spaces that allow our kids to have a safe and welcoming space outside. I'm deeply, deeply grateful for all of the thousands and thousands of hours that it took to get us where we are now, all of the collaboration between our community, local leaders, state leaders that has made this possible. And I'm really excited to see the amazing things that our students and faculty accomplish in this new school and all the places that they end up going in their future generations. Thank you very much.
So a couple things. I'm going to go through just a little bit of logistics before we do a ribbon cutting so everyone understands what is next. After we're done the ribbon cutting, we will ask folks if you're interested, one, in tours of the building, which I hope you are. We're going to meet in the cafeteria. And we also have lunch that'll be served in the cafeteria. So we have a couple options. If you're interested in eating first, you absolutely can do that. And then we can go on a tour. It is air conditioned, so it's fine, doesn't matter. Or we can organize in there. We will have a number of us who will give the tours around the building. And then come back after and have some lunch. But we invite you to have lunch with us, please, and to really see how beautiful this space is for the community and for our students and faculty and staff. I think that's really the last part of the logistics. We will be opening the building at 12:30 through 4:30 for the entire community to come in today for tours throughout the facility, which is really exciting. To share that. And you know, Dr. Kyra, assistant superintendent, was telling me he thinks there's going to be a lot of people today based on conversations within the community. And I hope that's the case, because I think it's certainly a facility that's worth sharing with this community. So what I would ask is, Mike, can you come up, and Gretchen, and we'll pull out the ribbon, and I'll have the speakers here. Please stand and join me. Thank you. So again, let me finalize the comments by mentioning someone who's very dear to many of you here in this audience today. And when I took the job as superintendent 10 years ago, for those who don't know, I was principal at the high school. And within my first week of the job, I got a visit, and it was Dr. Barry Ruthfield. And Dr. Ruthfield came into the office, sat me down, and said, "You're going to love this community. You need to put your heart and soul into this community, and you need to make sure that you're there for them." And those words were so profound to me for someone who I know has tremendous respect within this community. And for him to take the time to do that with me and sit with me and talk about how impressed he was about this community meant a lot. And, you know, God rest his soul, but when I think of this community and I think of his legacy, no one will ever reach that. But as a superintendent, when you get an opportunity to build a facility that will last here forever, at least in my lifetime, it feels really good. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of this community for supporting that. So with all this being said, let's have some food. Let's, you know, break some bread together, tour the facility, and get inside where it's a little bit cooler and we get the chairs picked up before it does rain. So again, thank you again for everyone making the effort to be here today. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, let's go. Vamos. We'll begin tours in about 10 minutes.